Hello everyone, welcome back to our podcast. This is Similarly Opposites. My name is Reza-Astrid.
And I'm Sakeenah.
And you know the drill. We're two friends who started an Instagram page a couple of years ago. And now we've ventured into the podcast world. And this is our fifth podcast. We share our travels, share what we found on the internet, and share what's been going on in our lives in the past week. And yeah, so I'll start off. Sakeenah, how was your week? Wait, I didn't even say our names. Hi, I'm Reza-Astrid. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Okay, Sakeenah, how's it going?
Apparently better than you.
Yes, I'm out of breath. I had to run downstairs and I've been later. I was late to film the podcast already with you, so I apologize. While I breathe a bit, how's your week been? How are you doing?
Okay, so while you catch your breath, I'm good. Same old this week. Always good. And what did I do this weekend? You know, honestly, I can't remember anything of my life anymore. This weekend, I spent a lot of time at the beach. I spent a lot of time seeing family in a safe environment. And yeah, so I've been starting to, try to work out again. So that's a development in my life.
Good.
And I don't know. I think I'm just, again, spring, September, we spoke about this in the last, reevaluating my life, realigning my life. And yeah, I've just been journeying through that. And I don't think it's going to stop. But I did that. I also got a new spec boeum plant. I got a spec boeum and I got a lemon tree that just started growing.
Nice.
Small one, a tiny one. So I just planted that earlier on, as well as mother-in-law, snake stung, that plant. Got that as well. You know my word. I just said, what? Mother-in-law, also known as the snake stung.
Mother-in-law's tongue or what?
It's called a snake plant, but it's also called the
mother-in-law. Yeah.
But the connotation.
I know. Well, a lot of people don't like their mothers-in-laws. I'm just praying that my mother-in-law in the future, far, far future, likes me, loves me, and that I like and love her as well. That's a big prayer that we actually should be praying for. Not just for a husband, but for a loving family.
Yeah, definitely. I think I agree with you. How has your weekend been? Since you spoke on Thursday.
Yeah, my weekend was so refreshing. I mentioned in last week's podcast, I've been feeling very tired and just very exhausted actually. But this weekend was so refreshing. I went in where I live close by. There's a secondhand market that happens every 2 weeks. And so a friend of mine, her and her brother, they're like, oh, we're going to the market. Do you want to come with? I was like, yeah, sure. Because I love the secondhand market. And I met them there and we walked around and it was just nice. I didn't have any money. I didn't spend any money.
What?
Yes. I was like, wow. Are you going to react or not? I didn't spend any money. And I was at the market the whole time. I think we were there for an hour. And it was nice just being around them because they're those people you want to be around and they just fill you up. Just by being in their presence, they always make me super, super happy.
Are these the babes?
It's the Bevins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Carly and Ryan. And then after that, we had found out the good news that another friend of mine, it's a weird thing, but that one of my teenagers, she became head girl Friday. So I was super happy about that. And then what did I do after that? Oh, I saw some family. My aunt passed away a couple of months ago. So we were giving all her clothes, whatever people wanted to take, they could take. And then Sunday was just a good day. It was just so good. I saw my teenagers in the morning and I had church and it was just, I don't know, something about the vibes of the weekend just put me in a good mood. And yeah, I had a really, really good weekend. And I honestly didn't do anything out of the ordinary. I think it was just being with people who fill your cup up. That just makes it so important that you're with people that make you happy.
Okay, that's cool. That's cute. Yeah, you were very hyper on your Instagram. And I was like, this is refreshing.
I was so hype on Sunday. I don't know what it was, because I definitely woke up in a mood on Sunday morning. I was like, ugh. But then 10 a.m. came, and then my teens were great. And then afterwards, I went to go buy donuts because I was buying donuts for Meg. And then it just like spiraled from there. Like the day was just good. And it was good.
Immaculate vibes only.
Only.
As the youth say.
The only youth I've heard say that is you. So
read the comments on TikTok, please. Educate yourself.
Yeah, I need to educate myself. I'm so behind on the lingo and the cool things. And as I was doing my makeup and just preparing for this podcast, I thought to myself, I haven't been in university for like 4 years. I haven't been in high school for almost 10 years. It's just the more you think about things like that, you're like, it dawns on you that you're growing older, and those things that you used to think.
You're the adult in the room, which is terrifying.
But it's both exciting and scary, because it's always so fun to be this age, but it's also so daunting to be this age.
Yeah, but I was told you, I don't know if I said it in the podcast or if it was just in our conversation, but like, oh yeah, it's in the podcast, and I mentioned and I said that I'm in my late 20s.
I know, like what?
What? The lighting is really bad, but it's fine because it's a podcast. So I'm just gonna.
Stunning. It looks fine to me.
Okay. But yeah, I'm in my late 20s, and I feel like that is such a thing people used to say in the movies, where they were like settling and like living their best life, and I'm just like, what? I'm at this age.
But I read something yesterday on Instagram that said sitcoms really fooled us when they made us think that people who were 26 or in their like late 20s, early 30s were able to afford these big, luxurious apartments and were living their best life, and everything was just well.
Because the economy was better. Like everyone, I read there's another thing, internet, which is like segued both of us. That's the thing is like millennials, or like using the term millennials, is normally using like a derogatory term because they're just basically children that still live at home. But like the generation before us crashed the housing market. So what are we supposed to do? You know what I mean? Things are so expensive. The economy sucks. Throw like 3 recessions on that, COVID, a pandemic, you know, like
it's a lot.
People don't have jobs.
The weight of shoulders is a bit heavy, just a little bit heavy.
Just a little bit, yeah. And like people can argue.
Oh, we're talking over each other. Sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah. But like people can argue, yeah, they had worse times than apartheid, in which I don't put that lightly.
I don't want that.
You don't want that. But I mean, like every generation has their battles, and I don't know why like our generation gets like such slack like from it. Not slack, flack. We get a lot of flack for it. Like it's not even our fault. we were just born in this time.
Exactly. Like I think also all like our parents' generation, their parents' generation, and so forth. Like they all, when they were, I'm assuming that when they were our age, they were feeling the same way. Like people were like, "Why aren't you doing this?" or "Why do you do this differently?" So I think it's a generational thing. But at the same time, I do think we get a lot of flack, a lot more flack, or at least maybe the flack is just because it's so our lives are on the internet. So it's the flack is like on a international level. It's not just like family level or society. It's like South Africa, worldly. Everyone's you're comparing yourself to everyone else. I mean, like my friends that I went to school with in the US, a lot of them are married. They have their own houses, and I'm like, what? And it's amazing. Like I'm really happy for them, but I can't imagine me walking out and going to buy a house. Like I physically can't do that. Like, what's the word? Economically or financially, I can't do that. But I'm happy for them. Like, well done. But it's weird how we all might be millennials, but we're all living differently as well. But that's a whole other topic. Like, I think as soon as you bring millennials in the conversation, there's just so many ways the conversation can go.
Yeah.
And so many things we can talk about. Other than that, what else did you see on the internet?
Just wanted to say, like, just following on what you said, like, a comparison is definitely the thief of joy, and shout out to whatever generation made that up, because that is like facts on facts, like, but also comparison gives you a reality check. And this is the thing I saw on the internet, like, I think we are bratty in a lot of ways, and we expect more from people, from ourselves, from the economy and stuff like that. But also there was this video of this boy in Matric, the viral video, that his friend like clubbed in and got him a second-hand cell phone because his phone got stolen when he was seizing on the road. First of all, who does that? Why do you do that?
Why steal the phone when he's already, like, he could die, but I'm going to steal the phone. And
did we not talk about this last week?
Did we?
I feel like we did.
Maybe we did, or maybe I definitely spoke about it on my Friday lockdown conversations for work. Yeah,
but like the thing is, like, then from that this week, I saw that video and I immediately was like, how do I donate to this child? Like, where do I go? And there was a Give and Gain page made, and they raised probably now like over 100,000 rand, because when I saw it was on 100,000 rand. And I can believe that it's been
on
climbing.
Friday,
I mean,
it was 159,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Insane. And like, that is life-changing, especially a boy from that community. That's life-changing, because he was like the sole breadwinner and he's writing his finals and no one needs that pressure. And like, if he's sick and gets seizures, like, because I work with kids that have like seizures and stuff, like, it's just a lot on your shoulders all the time. And I'm so like relieved. This is like incredible. He's been on the radio. They gave him a new laptop. Yeah. They gave him data. Like, I'm just so happy for him. That's the thing that I saw on the internet. Like, it's blown up and in all the best ways possible. And I love that. What did you see on the internet?
Nothing really worth sharing. I found a new Korean drama that I'm watching, and then I found out that the main character, he like just enlisted for his 18 months in the military in Korea. So that's a bit sad, because now I'm rooting for this man, but he's also like busy figuring out how to deal with life in the military, which is interesting. And this is not something that I found on the internet, but a mutual friend of ours and your, it sounds so weird to say ex-flatmate, but your flatmate that you lived with, she popped up on my Instagram over the weekend, I think it was, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen her in a while, because usually I would see her post all the time, because I would like her things a lot, and she started a blog, so I would obviously follow the blog and stuff, but I hadn't seen her in a while. She doesn't live in SA, she lives in Amsterdam. And then it started the conversation between the two of us on taking an Instagram break or a sabbatical, or to log off for a while. And I think
Did she do that? Did you talk to her?
No, you spoke to her and you said that she took a 12-week break.
No. What? I didn't talk to her.
Who did you talk to?
I was talking to her. That's why I see it so weird, because I was talking to a colleague.
Oh, I didn't hear the colleague part. I thought you were talking to her, to Tracy.
No, I spoke to a colleague, and then we were like talk about social media and stuff like that, and how, like, when you said the other day that I just like deleted my Instagram, I just went up and deleted my Instagram, deleted my Twitter and stuff like that, like, and then it got us talking, because you didn't do something. Yeah, but like, it's interesting to note though that, like, when I said, what did you see on social media this week, you said nothing worth mentioning, which is so true. But how many hours do you spend on social media? Probably a lot.
Way too much.
Exactly. So like, it just brings, or like solidifies the fact that, like, why do we have this mindless scrolling? Because it is mindless scrolling.
I did find something meanwhile, and I did actually find something worthwhile, but I forgot. But please continue, and then I'll read it to you later. Continue, sorry. Okay. But I agree with your statement that you just said.
Yeah, so like it is mindless scrolling, and we do spend a lot of time on social media. So like, why do we do it? And then the same friend and I were talking, and then she's like, "Oh my word, I watched this thing on on Netflix. You need to watch it." And it's basically all the creators from like all the big platforms. So the person that invented like the Facebook like button,
Yes.
you know, like big people, the person that created Gmail, like, so it's Google, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, algorithm. All of those people, they left their companies for ethical concerns around the platform. And I haven't finished watched it because I was watching it while I was doing something else. And it says all of our conscious thought is being controlled by artificial intelligence, which I definitely think is true, because how often is that we think about something and it pops up on our social media and you're like, how did that get there? I was just talking about it. It's because probably we've seen it somewhere and we weren't cognizant of that fact that we saw it, so it popped up in our head and then we started noticing it. So that's very interesting. And then which leads into the conversation of the my thought to the conversation of the vaccination for COVID, that people say, no, they're going to have like they're going to microchip you and like control you. But they're already doing that. Like your phone location is always on and your phone is always with you. Like everyone knows where you are if they tried hard enough. And then I also, sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but like I also saw this thing on TikTok where this lady has a chip planted in her hand for her convenience. So like open your door, open your cupboard, open your wine rack, like insane what we can do. Do I agree with it? Don't I agree with it? That's a different conversation because I don't know. I think there's pros and cons to everything, but yeah, that's something I saw on the internet. You wanted to tell me something?
Yeah, before I do that, but I think also movies like this, really the main thing is for us to think about these things, because we don't think about it. We just mindlessly do it, and we do in a sense think about it, and we, as soon as it happens, like if you think about something and you see an ad for it, it's like, why is this happening? But then then you stop there, you just keep scrolling, you're like, I don't have time to really think about it. But then you watch movies like this and you're like, why do I actually do these things? And then you kind of just sit with yourself and you're like, how can I stop? How can I consume media differently? Or how can I be more proactive on what I consume and what I don't consume? Like, it just starts opening up your brain to having these conscious conversations with yourself, because you're the only one who's truly in charge of what you're consuming. And that's the thing, like we sometimes think like, oh no, I could never get rid of Instagram. But it's your decision. You can get rid of Instagram. You can find a different platform that you enjoy, or no platform that you enjoy, And the scary thing for me is life still goes on, even though you don't post about it on Instagram. And you could have and someone said on Instagram, the Insta in Instagram is no more. Back in the day, we used to post on the day, on the moment that things happen, and now we're like pre-planning when next week's video is gonna come out, or when next week's post is coming out, what we're gonna wear in a month's time. And like I said, like one of my favorite YouTubers that I watched, they are moving out of their house, or they have moved out of the house, and they started the process back in June. And so we watched a video in September about their process in June, July, August, September, up to this moment of them like moving out. And it feels weird because we got content or videos from them weekly, but we never even knew that part of their life was happening. And it just makes you think about what we share.
There's so many like post-production stuff. We edit these videos. And it's also, it's not a true reflection of your day-to-day, because even for this podcast, it's supposed to be a podcast. It's like we expect people to just listen to us, but we were like, give me 5 minutes, I need to put some makeup on.
Yes.
Like, like everything is tailored to your best self. And I think people often forget that what we do show is our highlight reel. Like even that thing on Facebook. So this is another thing I saw on the internet, but like I shared that thing on Facebook that says Facebook is great, so because like different people from different like places in my life get to know me. How do you do this with me? And we got so many comments, and like things were revealed to me that I wasn't even aware of. Like I forgot how I met someone, because you know, you meet someone somewhere and then you sometimes forget how you meet them, me and you basically. But you have like other memories filled in with that. And then I commented on your page, so you were like very honest and truthful on mine. But I commented on your page like an amalgamation of all our like worst adventures, but also best stories, like funny stories. And like my friend was like, that was genuinely concerned, like what happened. And I think like people don't see that, and they only see, especially now with like a podcast and our travels and stuff. Sorry, I feel like I have verbal diarrhea. Sorry, but like with our podcast and stuff, like we would tell you like the pits and the peaks. So you don't only see the Instagram side of it, because Instagram is a lot of the times romanticized to a large degree. Speaking of, we didn't upload on our Instagram yesterday. Okay, I'll do that when I get off this. And I just remembered. Yeah, so like they do just see the highlight reel, and a lot of people forget that. And then that leads to the validation because of likes, and that leads to the comparison, that leads to the insecurity, the body dysmorphia, etc. And I'm not bashing social media, like I'm so pro social media, but if you find yourself doing that, unfollow. Follow people that look like you. Follow people that don't look like you, but don't make you feel bad about looking the way you look. And I think that's important, because it's not bad to aspire to be something, but you can't hate yourself for who you are and how you are right now or ever. So that's what it'll.
100% agree. And this is what I found on the internet, which kind of segues into what you just spoke about. But it was from this guy, Aubrey Marcus, on Instagram, and he says, we think we want things, but we really want sensations. We want to look fit for the sensation of feeling attractive. We want to be super successful for the sensation of feeling validated. A lover, we chase them for the sensation of feeling love. Why is this important? Because we can create the sensations internally without needing the things. I think I just needed to hear that, because I'm very much a sensation person. I want to feel things. I want things to happen. I want the end result, but I don't necessarily want to work for it. And that's why that's something I need to work on, and that I need to start working on, is that if I want to be fit, I need to actually be proactive in, eating healthier, going for a run, doing an exercise program, but also enjoying that process, and not just wanting the feeling of me looking in the mirror and be like, oh, I actually look good today, but to actually work for those things. That's how I.
But it's interesting, because you said that if you go off social media, you want to be missed. And that was the sensation you were running for.
Yes, exactly. Which is what we're working on. Which is what I'm working on. Because and that's what it all comes down to, is that like people, like for example, I didn't realize that our friend, I didn't realize Tracy wasn't on Instagram until I saw her post. I was like, oh, I haven't seen in a while. And that shouldn't be the reason why we do things. We should never be doing things because, that's what you told me. We shouldn't be doing things so that other people can miss us, or other people can cheer us on, or other people can say like, well done. And a lot of times I do things so that I can get validation from other people, which is something we're working on. This is a work in progress.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And it's not to be like ashamed of, embarrassed of, or saying it the way you're saying it, because I think it's a very normal human thing to do, to seek validation for all actions that you do. I mean, I know I do it at work all the time. I'm like, I'm doing this, notice me, pay me more because I'm working so hard. So I think it's a very normal thing to do, because I mean, you don't want your efforts to go in vain, but at the end of the day, you need to question like, what's the purpose of you being there? Is it to impress other people, or is it to fulfill your duty, So I think that's a very interesting thing. Speaking about duties that we had to fulfill, let's segue to this week's.
Our segue is so good!
segues to this week's travel tip and like travel destination, but also like recognize that you have certain duties to fulfill. So do your job, you know. If you are watching the podcast, you can see reason I'm matching t-shirts on.
You do. And if you like really look, just let me just bring it up all the way. Oh wait, where does it say it? There it says Imani, Mozambique 2018. So we can't get the year wrong on this podcast episode. In 2018, we were very, very blessed. Very, very blessed. Very, very lucky to go on another Operation Smile mission as the student team once again. And
also, would you say lucky?
We were lucky. Not a lot of people ever get to go on 2 missions.
I know, but it was a much fulfilled duty because we had a task to do and we were good at it and we worked for it. So we were approached to go with.
Sakeenah
Don't say someone's lucky.
Word lucky, eh?
What?
Sakeenah doesn't like this word lucky.
No, I do not like the word lucky, but luck means it happened
By chance.
as a coincidental good thing, you know. But like I worked my ass off to get to where I am. So we were afforded the opportunity to go to Mozambique on an Operation Smile mission. If you want to know what Operation Smile is, it is in our second podcast, like our third travel story podcast, because I think the first one was just an introduction. So I don't know, go find the one that says Madagascar. It's on that one. And so this time we went to Mozambique as a student team, but also as 2 volunteers that went into the communities to help women. Again, I don't know why I'm talking so much. To help women and educate everyone about menstrual health, sanitary pads, reusable sanitary pads. It's good for the environment and also safe and healthy for your vagina. And we did a lot of education around that. And Reza will continue because
you know this is a podcast, right? You know in podcasts people talk a lot, so it's okay.
It's been equal distribution, but I'm just like talking.
No, it is equal distribution. What do you mean?
Okay.
Anywho,
Okay.
Mozambique was an interesting mission. It was very, very different to our mission in Madagascar because this was the first mission that would happen in Mozambique after like how many years?
11 years.
11 years.
Like a long time.
Yeah, after a really long time. So we were going in as a team in a new area that they'd never been in before with a brand new hospital. The hospital is beautiful, first class. Wow. And everything was new in the mission. So it was a new hospital, it was a new town, it was a new team that was working on the mission. So everything was brand new. And like we all know with brand new things, things do tend to go wrong. And yeah, I think we should just go straight into Puts and Peaks because I honestly think when we speak about Mozambique, it's just really difficult to articulate if we haven't been on an Operation Smile mission. And it's difficult to really speak about the mission and share like an honest opinion with you about the mission without sitting here for 3 hours explaining every single detail of every single day. So we're just going to do our Puts and Peaks, and that will probably lead us into deeper conversations. But Sakeenah, I think you should go first because I need to, my brain has to go back in time and remember what exactly happened.
Okay, so just a disclaimer before we start, we're not bashing Operation Smile as an organization in any way, shape or form. 100% love it, we'll work for it, we'll die for it, like love Operation Smile. So nothing against them, they continue to be a great foundation and you should support them. I sound like I work on the rain here. But okay, peaks was definitely so in Mozambican culture and a lot of African culture. It's quite still taboo to talk about your period and menstrual health and vaginas and blood and stuff. It's quite very taboo. Oh, I have so many peaks actually. Okay, I'm gonna say the one. I'm gonna mention both, but I'm gonna first talk about.
Share more than one. It's a podcast. You can share more than one.
So peak was so what's the word? Our target market for this workshop that we held, where we make reusable sanitary pads, and we can go to I can make a whole video on my personal channel if you want, about how we make these sanitary towels. So our target audience were the women, so the parents or the mothers of these children that went on the mission that came for corrective surgery. And there was a lot of women, so we were there for like a week, and on the 5th day or something. So we always noticed, I'm just going in circles, there's so much that happened. So every day, so say for instance we were there for 5 days, okay? Every day we had a different group of women that came to us and helped us and sat with us and watched us and sewed and participated, and then they got like a goodie bag at the end. But in the periphery of it, there were always men just like wondering what's going on, who we are, what we're doing, and what's the point of this. So on day 5, which I think was our last day or something, on the periphery there was always this gentleman, and he said, sorry ma'am, can I please join? He didn't say it in English. We did a lot of sign language and we figured it out. And I said, sure, sir. To me, what?
Lots of Portuguese.
Yeah, lots of Portuguese. I had Jerson, my home dog, translating for me, and we actually chatted last night. He stole my status also.
Oh,
wild. I literally talk to people like on every podcast. I'm like, actually spoke to her last night. So I basically need to get off social media because he put out the feel. And then, so this man was like, can I please join? And I was like, cool, sir, like, come on, grab a seat, come sit. Okay, what you need is blah, blah, blah. And he was doing it. And then I was thinking, like, are you doing this for your wife? Like, who are you here with? Mm-hmm. And he says, no, he really wants to do it for his daughter. His daughter's 14, and he wants to do it for her. And we, like, he also has a wife that like wasn't there. And he'd like to like give them, because he knew that we're getting like a goodie bag afterwards. But he also we was like super proud of his own achievements. So we managed to make like a pad set for him. So we were both sewing. We just literally sat for the afternoon and like chilled and sewed and stuff like that. And he was so proud of his accomplishments, which I was also so proud of him. The detail, the meticulousness, incredible, top tier, chef's kiss. And he was so happy at the end of it. And that was definitely a peak, like him not being embarrassed or ashamed to approach us, first of all, because we don't speak the same language, but also because we're talking about vaginas and periods and something that they don't often talk about. Like even with my translator, he was a man and he had to like translate what I was saying to the women about the vaginas or whatever. He was like giggly and uncomfortable, and I said, okay, you don't have to do it. Like we'll demonstrate with a panty, like how to do it. So he was like, no, it's fine. It's my job. It's my responsibility to translate this for you. And I think that was like, it showed a lot of growth within the community. And I definitely think that we did make an impact in that community, because before this, they wore like, I don't know what the word is, but it's like a lungi. So it's like a long piece of material that they like wrap around them. But they also use that same kind of technique when they have their periods. They just like fold this like long piece of material, and they wear that when they have their period and then just wash it out, which is kind of similar, same concept as us, but we just have it like more small, and it doesn't feel like you're wearing a whole dress in your underwear. So like that was definitely a peak for me. The other peak for me was obviously related directly to the operations. First time I saw surgery, incredible. Oh my gosh. Artists, genius, plastic surgeons are not only plastic surgeons, like the whole team, from the start to the end, incredible. All the cogs serve a role, all the drivers, the bus drivers serve a role, porters serve a role, and that was like one of our lessons. But Carlos, they all like serve a role, but there's, again, we talked about this then on the periphery, and there was this man on the like periphery, and he was like an oldish man, 60 or whatever, and me just coming in there like happy-go-lucky. I always be like, bom dia, like whatever, like saying hello, and I always greeted him, and he always greeted me, and then he kind of knew our faces. And then he tried to talk to us once, again, a lot of body language. And then on surgery day for us, like when we went to go see the surgeries, I was like, oh my word, it's that dude from that place, you know, like from the shelter, and like I recognized him, and he was like super nervous, because obviously you wait your whole life for this life-changing surgery, and he's like 60, and he was just like super nervous. It's the first time he's ever seen a doctor. He has a cleft lip on the bottom lip, which I've never seen before. And he was just super nervous, like people are in mask in the OR kind of a thing. And he was so stressed. He was so stressed. He was so stressed that Bruce couldn't get like his anesthetic in. And then I said, Bom dia, and he didn't register at all. And then like I have a mask now, we wear a mask every day. So I pulled the mask down and he saw my face. And when he saw my face, his body automatically like relaxed. Like it just slumped into a relaxation state. And then Bruce and Conrad saw this. And they were like, this man is so much more chill because you need to sit here the whole surgery. Okay, cool. And then they just pulled up a chair and I just literally held this man's hand for like an hour while they were doing his surgery. And I could watch firsthand experience because you're awake while they're doing the surgery. And I could watch this and it was the most incredible thing. And Batman was playing like this incredible music. It was like I was in Grey's Anatomy. It was incredible. And I was just chilling and holding his hand, and when it's like he kind of felt so like held onto my hand, and then I did like that thumb rub, like don't worry sir, like I'm still here kind of a moment. And that was incredible for me, and I know that made a difference in his life, definitely 100%. And he was so skinny and like so old, and it was just like, just give me all the feels, I want to cry. And it was just so nice. And then like 2 days later, we were saying goodbye at the shelter. Pep was handing out clothes, and like he came like out of the line and like saw me, and he was just like, again, like, I don't know how to say thank you, I forgot now, but like obrigado or whatever. And he said like obrigado, like thank you so much for everything, and then like pointed to his lip, and when he saw his face for the first time after the surgery, he cried. I nearly cried. Incredible. Love that. That's my peak. What was your peak?
No, I'm gonna go peak.
Yeah. Because Pet is like a long story.
I just want to mention, you say the doctors' names like everyone knows who it's. Dr. Conrad, ma'am, and this is Dr. Batman.
Yeah.
My peak of Mozambique, not to mention any of yours, because I definitely can relate to those two. But it was, the first one was definitely seeing a surgery. It was incredible, and I did feel like I was in Grey's Anatomy, but I also felt like I was seeing a magic trick happening right in front of my eyes, because I watched a bilateral cleft lip surgery, and it blew my mind how what's the word?
Elastic.
Yes, elastic this part of your mouth is, or your face in general, and how they can, like,
it makes sense.
You can literally just move a piece of cheek all the way to cover the lip, and it's just like, it's insane. It's amazing what these plastic surgeons and doctors can do, and how it really does take a whole group of people to make a surgery successful. A lot of times we obviously only highlight like the plastic surgeons or so, but I mean, with them, they need assistants, they need nurses, they need the equipment ready, they need everything to be there. They can just do their magic. And one thing that I will never forget is one of the surgeons, like I was watching his like hand precision and his eyes, just like the things that they can do with their eyes and a scissors and like needle and thread type vibe. It's absolutely amazes me. And I was like, oh, I wish I had that talent, you know, because it was just, not talent, but I wish I had that ability, that gift.
But the skill.
That skill, that's the word I'm looking for, that skill, because that's something you must learn and you must work at. So that was incredible to just see that and witness that and experience that. And another thing that was like a peak would definitely just be, again, being able to teach women something so valuable and something so important, and to share our skills with them, and to like spend an afternoon with these ladies not knowing anything really in Portuguese to hold the conversation, but just to be together, to make those sanitary pads. And in those 3-4 hours that we spent together, we were able to laugh together, share some type of conversation. The babies were there, which was so great. But to share that moment with them. And again, like you said, we were there for 5 days. We went to the shelter every day. And it would look like, by the second, third day, it looked like they were waiting for us to come. And when we would leave, they'd be like, bye. And like by the end of the week, everyone was saying bye. Even like the uncles and the dads that were not even part of it was like waving goodbye. And again, it's that sense of community that also happens organically in the shelters. I just think that's so beautiful, that they're able to come together as like a community and support one another and be there for one another throughout those days, because you really need people around you when you're going through such a life-changing experience and surgery.
Can I just add to that? When we said goodbye and stuff like that, like it sounds like it's we go in, we do it, and we get out. Like, but we don't. I know it sounds like that if you just hear it from a stranger's perspective. But the doctors from all over the world, as well as Mozambican doctors, Mozambican doctors are part of the team as well. For every country, like if they come to South Africa, we have Operation Smile. Doctors and real doctors, they're all on the same team. And we upskill and train, even the like night nursing again, bomb, do it. So even the night nurses, they learned a lot from like other night nurses, like just to upskill people, or learn from each other. Like the skills can go both ways. So that was incredible. So it is sustainable. And like, I think we want to get to a point where you train so many people that we don't have to do missions. Like in South Africa, we don't do like missions anymore because we have hospitals that can do it. There's a waiting list, like you can go, like they train enough. And we want to get to that place. And I think that's incredible as well. Yeah, sorry for disturbing.
No, that's all. And then just the people in general that you meet on a mission. The mission team make the missions. They just make.
Reza and I met ourselves in 50 years.
Yes, we met ourselves in 50 years. I met my ultimate girl crush. I met my ultimate photographer. There was just the people on the trip really make the mission an amazing experience. Okay, Pitt.
So I don't know about you.
I'm dying to hear what you're gonna say.
What?
I'm dying to hear what you're gonna say.
Okay, so let me explain about
one. Otherwise we're gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me title it: Being Held Hostage in a Hotel.
In a foreign country.
In a foreign country on Reza's birthday.
Yes! No, say it again. I don't think they heard you. You must say the full sentence. I'll be quiet and go ahead.
Okay. Being held hostage in a hotel by 3 big men in a foreign country on Reza's birthday. That is the sentence. That is what happened. So, long story short, we were under the company's name. Obviously, everyone comes from everywhere else. Person leaves early because has to go to another mission, super high on the list, high priority, wanted. So, needs to go to the other country, whatever. Leaves early. We leave on last day. There are unpaid bills, which is not any of our fault. Not the person who left. Not our fault. Nothing. But we're the last people there, so they go, but actually you can't leave. There's an unsettled fee. And we go, huh? Like, I'm not the captain of the ship. Like, I'm just here. So we phone said captain. We're like, yo, we can't leave. You need to pay something. Anyway, this captain is useless. This captain jumped off the ship first. One of those. Doesn't stay till all these men are brought in. Anyway, so we literally couldn't leave a hotel. Like, we couldn't leave the hotel. Me, Reza, and our sponsor, luckily, bless, she didn't leave us like previous people. And she was there with us, and I was like, well, I have money. It's not my money, it's company money, but this is company bill. Like, what do I do? And we try to figure out, because the captain is just not getting back to us, not sending a car for us, not doing anything. And there's a man standing at the door like this, like crossed arms, big man. He's like, you're not going anywhere. And so there's also a translator, which is like super cool, super nice, and he like translates for us, because this person is being quite a bit of a hard ass behind the desk. And then he tells us the proper thing. Long story short, he manages, like, we grab our bags, we about to leave because we saw the bus coming. We leave, they like bother us on the stoop outside, and we said, sorry sir, our business is now closed, goodbye. And then we left, and then we rushed. Okay, and then that is the one. But okay, if I don't know if is your pet the follow up to that, or?
I mean, kinda, yeah. Like, I think just that whole
altercation.
Yeah, that whole situation. I honestly, I think I've blocked it out of my mind. I even blocked it as it was happening, because I was like, I'm not in this situation. This is not real. I didn't even have money to help you out and pay for this bill. I did not eat anything at this hotel for me to be paying this bill. I was very much like, is this even real? And also we were running against time, because we were like, our flight leaves in 3 hours. We need to still book in. We need to check in. We don't have our tickets. Like, is this bus even coming? The bus was running late. Everything that could go wrong on that last day went wrong. Everything. And it was just the three of us. And also because this was a new mission site, new mission town, we had 3 different hotels that people were staying at. And we were staying at the one furthest away from everyone else and furthest away from the hospital. So there was no one able to help us or come get us, because most of them or all of them were actually at the airport already, and we're just like, what do? We can't get out of the situation. So I was a bit annoyed about the whole situation. The whole situation put me in a bad mood. It was my 23rd birthday and I was in a bad mood, and then obviously just we got to the airport and there was a whole mess. When I say a mess, I've never been so like about a situation, because obviously we were about over 30 people on this mission, and everyone was coming from different places in the world, and everyone had different tickets, but we all were traveling together. Like, say for example, we all travel from Kilimani.
No, I'm saying we all want to travel to the main city so we can leave the main airport.
Yeah, so the whole big group is traveling from the small little town that we're in to the main city. And then from there, some people are sleeping over for the night. Some people are staying there for a week. Some people are going from there to other countries. Some people are going back to their own country. Some people are going to America. Some people are going to South Africa. Some people are going to Europe. Everyone's going. Some people are going to South America. This is a diverse group of people. And there was just a whole mess and mix, and the captain didn't confirm what he was supposed to confirm. So we were all 50 of us were sitting at the airport like, yo, we need this. And there's only one flight a day that leaves. So we need to get on this airplane. To cut this story real short, we waited for about 2 hours just for everyone to get their tickets. And then we were rushing to get on the plane, and then the plane was delayed, and then we were stressing because we obviously had to catch a connecting flight there, and then another and it was just a long day. I think we only got home at 10, 11 at night, so we'd literally been traveling the whole day, plus the excess
plus miles
and hijacking and all that jazz. And so that was a peak.
But you know what my worst problem is?
No, but you're gonna
up to your mistakes.
Yes.
As a captain, don't say it's not your fault. Don't try to play nice. We're all in a bad mood, sir. Remove yourself from the situation. Don't let us get onto the plane 2 hours later, and then the captain sits behind me on the plane. Not gonna go well, because I'm upset, I'm disappointed, I'm annoyed, I'm not a nice person, especially when I'm back. doesn't this man have the audacity to put his hand on my shoulder and say something like, what a funny, like super obnoxiously. Don't do that. And I turned around to him and I said, if you still want your hand, I suggest you take it off my shoulder right now. And then the South Africans sitting on the next aisle were also super rude and salty too. They were like, I will never come on a mission where you in charge again. Horrendous. You need to be fired. You need to go out, sir. But obviously he's not, because everyone thinks the sun shines where it shouldn't. And that's just me being very nice about the situation right now.
Hopefully we're still invited to missions after this podcast. But another thing that was a bit that I wanted to mention was that I was in a terrible mood this whole mission. I was in a funk.
Oh, bruh.
I was over it the whole mission. I don't know what exactly was going on and what was wrong, but everything that could annoy me did annoy me. It was not a good look. Like, it was not good at all. And this mission happened literally 2 or 3 days after we landed from Tanzania. So we had this we had Bangula, then Zanzibar, 2 days at home, both those days being working days, like physically us having to go to work or class, and then getting on a plane and then having to go on a mission with 50 plus other new people we didn't know, and then having to work with them, and then everything that could go wrong going wrong on the mission, everything just being an irritation, and being in the same room with Sakeenah for like 2 weeks, and just us each other the whole time, and being the only
at this point.
Huh?
We were in the same room for like a month at this point.
And being the only 2 people that we can really talk to, because there's no one else our age or really understands or gets our frustrations. And yeah, it was a lot. And I think that was a pit. But that was like a personal pit. It's not true.
Yeah. Huh? There's footage of that on my channel, if you want to link it down below.
As usual, everything will be linked down below. You can go watch that. There's even a part where Sakeenah's trying to talk to me and I'm like,
he's not having it, and I was like, well, let's just ignore her and continue with my life, like, whatever.
And then after that we took a break from each other. We didn't go on another holiday for a year. Yeah, where did we go after that?
Europe.
No. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. That's Mozambique. If you want to hear more, I would suggest you watch our vlogs or Sakeenah's vlog. She did vlog the whole trip. Yeah. And if you would like us to do a follow-up, I know we don't always finish our sentences or our thoughts or our ideas or our stories. So if there's more that you would like us to just continue with or talk more about, we would love to do that. And I think we will do that once we finish all the travel, and then we can just like look back at things maybe that we've missed or didn't talk about.
So there are so many stories, and some of them you just can't like share. So if you do want to see, I do like really think you should go look at the vlogs on our channels. But also again, just reiterating it, nothing to do with the company, everything to do with the person. Like,
yeah,
nothing to do with the company, everything to do with the person, and just like, nah, not okay. But this is the really interesting chats, like from the beginning to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know your views on social media. Like, I'm super keen for you to interact with us in the comments below. Thank you if you have. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like and a subscribe down below. That'd be great. It really helps us out. Lets us know that you're enjoying these, and we enjoy making them for you. We even put on matching t-shirts. And if you want to hear our European stories, there's about 4 of them coming up in the next month. Please don't miss it if you subscribe and hit the bell down below. Thank you so much. That's all. And we shall see you and speak to you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.